Emmy Award-winning actress Megan Follows got her big break as TV's Anne of Green Gables and has since performed on stages across Canada. And Kelli Fox followed big brother Michael J. Fox into the biz. Megan and Kelli are in town for the revival of Margaret Atwood's The Penelopiad, with Megan starring as Penelope and Kelli as Odysseus. And they join us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you know what? I've actually read that novella.
Fantastic.
I know.
All right.
I'm like,
Good.
I
We're off to a
don't
good
know
start.
why I'm that fancy, but it was a really like for people who aren't familiar, it's really fascinating. There's the classic ancient story of Odysseus going off to war, blah, 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 focuses on the guys. And then there's poor Penelope cooling her jets back, waiting for him. And now this looks at that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that, do you think that this is something that audiences will embrace?
Absolutely, and they have.
Yeah.
We're happy to say that they have, because we had a very successful run last year. And it's just a tremendously fascinating, witty, dark, kind of complicated, fun journey to go on, to tell you the truth. And audiences have loved it. Margaret's writing is exquisite and complex, as is the whole idea, as you said, of taking this story, this famous story, from one perspective and looking at it from another.
Mm-hmm.
Megan, Kelli, you get up there, you're doing your thing, you're acting, something isn't going as planned. And this happens a lot on stage.
No,
I did stage
never
years ago. How do you control that? How do you...
That's a hard question to answer. I think you just, on the fly, something kind of kicks in. It's like a self-preservation instinct, because the audience is watching. And you learn quite quickly, too, that audiences accept whatever you show them as what you meant to do. So you can kind of get away with things. Yeah, just own it loud and proud.
It's
That's
amazing
what
what adrenaline can do.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, tell me if this is still true, is Anne of Green Gables the most successful Canadian TV show of all time? Do you know?
It would certainly still be up there as one of them. I would have to think so.
It was so spectacularly popular, which meant that you were growing up in the public eye. And, you know, I look around now at, you know, the Lindsay Lohans and things like, there you are, look at how cute with the pigtails. And it's so hard.
And there's Pat.
Oh, there's Pat. She's in our show, too.
And Pat's in our show, too.
Oh,
Thanks,
nice.
Rachel Lynn. Yeah,
We did that on purpose, totally.
I know. So what a treat for me, actually, you know, to have a history with people and to get to work again, you know, over the course of a long span. It's pretty amazing.
How did you keep everything in perspective as you were, you know, this young girl turning into a young woman, getting a lot of attention? How did you sort of keep grounded?
Some of that, I think, has to just do with the realities of our system in this country. The rewards are perhaps more down to earth. When I think about what some of the young people are up against and under that machine and that constant eye and scrutiny, that's brutal, to be honest, for a young person like that, for like Lindsay. So I certainly, you know, have sympathy for that kind of pressure that is on, and that's a very I think in Canada, even when we're stars, we're also working actors. It's sort of first and foremost, and we're often very grateful to be working. And I grew up in a theater of. I grew up in a theater. Yeah, that kind of says it all. Wow, I did. Yeah, my parents were actors, so it kind of was like growing up in a theater with working actors, and that's where the priority was in performing your job, doing it well, being true to your word. That was the name of the game in this country.
Are you acting now? Are you acting right now, or is this...
I hope not.
Yeah.
No, because you know what? No, it's too early in the morning.
That's what I always say. People are like, are you something
Nope.
you're like? It's like, yeah, it's 6 a.m. Who can fool around?
I guess we could ask Kelli about the same thing. Your brother growing up in that spotlight, and you seeing it as you living it, being there as an outsider, I guess, watching it all go down.
Yeah, for me it was a cautionary tale, in a way.
Yeah.
It kept me in the theater in Canada. It kept me away from LA. Because it was, and ultimately he's handled it extraordinarily well. But it was, you know, there was a time when it was a struggle for him. And it was, you know, he had a great family, so that helped keep his feet on the ground. I think his wife now has helped him figure out how to live in this world a little more kind of with a bit of an even keel. So that's been good, but it's not easy, and it wasn't something I was interested in dealing with.
Right,
Yeah.
because like you're saying, Megan, it's so phenomenally overwhelming when you have that kind of pressure and that spotlight that's on you. Was it intimidating, Kelli? You're talking about seeing how it went in the United States of staying in Canada, but also just the idea that following someone who has had such huge success in the same career, was that intimidating for you at all?
Well, we live in such different worlds in a way. Also, I launched my own kind of journey into theater school and all of that stuff before Family Ties hit, before any of that was happening. So he was a working actor trying to put something together in LA at that point. And all that meant to me was, it's possible. People do this. People make a living at this. So it was the opposite. It was very encouraging. It was after Family Ties hit, and to be honest, Back to the Future, honest to God. We sat in that theater for a premiere, and as the lights came down, my older brother Stephen and I looked at each other and went, it's a whole new world now. Oh my God.
You knew.
You just knew. It's a whole other thing. He was catapulted into something that I think it took me years to understand what that meant to people. You know, I still kind of struggle with it a little bit because,
It's your brother.
yeah, it's kind of, but he means a great deal to people. It's really extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in the Penelopiad, you play a couple of different characters, 2 or 3, do you? Or is it just Odysseus?
You have to count. Well, I'm one of the maids and Odysseus, and I'm also one of the evil horned suitors.
So, how do you get your head around that as an actor?
It's kind of fun. It's confusing for a little while. We were saying last night, there are a couple of new people in our show this year, and there's you can tell really, although they've been unbelievably quick, they've really got on board very quickly, but suddenly backstage in the dark, the difference between the people who were there last year and have muscle memory and the people who are still learning it is really clear, because those 4 people are backstage going, what's next? What happens next? Where do we go now? Because you don't that switching characters and moving around in the timeline, it's very
In a
it's
set
a lot to wrap
that's
your head around.
primarily black, the color, so it's very dark.
It's very
It's
dark.
very hard to find your way
Add to the
backstage.
challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for dropping by. Megan Follows and Kelli Fox, the stars of Margaret Atwood's The Penelopiad, on stage here in Toronto. Really lovely meeting you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.